Welcome back, friends. Today, we're going to explain the movie The Wrath of Kane. This is the story of Miles Kane Skinner, a dangerous gangster who is now fighting the hardest battle of his life inside a prison, against his own blood. The story begins in an old, dark prison where Miles Kane Skinner, Ving Rhames, is locked up. Kane is not an ordinary prisoner. He is considered the king of the jail. His presence is so intimidating that even the guards fear him. But there's no spark of dominance left in his eyes, only deep regret and exhaustion. We learn that Kane is serving a life sentence and has accepted that he will spend the rest of his life behind these walls. One day, Kane hears that new prisoners are arriving. But these are not ordinary criminals. Among them are two young men who are enemies of each other. The twist? They are Kane's own sons, JD and Ricky. Tragically, neither of them knows that Kane is their father, and they are sworn enemies because they belong to rival gangs. Here's the deeper twist. Kane spent his entire life in crime, but he never wanted his children to follow the same path. Yet fate drags them into the same darkness and brings them right back to him. In the prison yard, JD and Ricky come face to face. There's pure hatred in their eyes. JD is hot-headed and impulsive, while Ricky is more calculated. Just as a fight is about to break out, Kane steps in. Everyone backs off in fear, but his sons don't recognize him. Later that night, Kane sits alone in his cell, looking at old photographs. He reflects on how he abandoned his family for a life of crime. Now he realizes that his sins are being paid for by his children. He tries to convince the warden to separate them, but the warden is corrupt and actually wants riots to break out for his own benefit. In the prison mess hall, a violent clash erupts between JD and Ricky's gangs. Knives come out and chaos begins. Kane tries to stop it, but realizes words are no longer enough. He must become the old Kane again, the ruthless man he once was, to protect his sons. This moment shows Kane's inner struggle. He's a father who wants to embrace his children, but he can't even tell them the truth, because he knows they would hate him. Kane later meets JD alone and tries to guide him. During their conversation, Kane hints that he knew JD's father. JD angrily says his father was a coward who abandoned them. Kane is heartbroken but remains silent, knowing JD's anger is justified. When the warden discovers that JD and Ricky are Kane's sons, he sets up a cruel plan. He manipulates JD into killing Ricky by promising him early parole. Desperate to get out of prison, JD falls into the trap. Soon the prison turns into something like a fight club. JD and Ricky are forced to face each other while inmates cheer and place bets. Kane is locked away, so he's forced to watch his sons fight each other. But the story doesn't end there. Kane has fought many battles, and he refuses to lose this one. He breaks out of his cell, overpowers the guards, and rushes to the fight. Just as JD is about to strike Ricky, Kane jumps in between them and shouts, "Stop! You are brothers!" Silence falls across the prison. JD and Ricky stare at each other, and then at Kane. He reveals the truth. He is Miles Skinner, their father. He breaks down, apologizing for everything. JD's anger turns into tears, but years of hatred don't disappear instantly. The warden, seeing his plan fail, orders the guards to open fire. Now it's no longer just a family conflict. It's a war against the system. Kane, JD, and Ricky fight together. Kane stands like a shield in front of his sons. During the battle, Kane is severely wounded. He confronts the warden and makes him pay for his actions. But in the process, Kane is shot and collapses. In his final moments, Kane holds both his sons' hands and makes them promise to stay together. He says, "I ruined my life. Don't ruin yours." JD and Ricky, once enemies, now support each other. Kane closes his eyes peacefully, knowing he reunified his family before dying. The Wrath of Kane teaches us that even if one person commits the sin, innocent people often suffer the consequences. Kane made many mistakes, but his final sacrifice gave him a chance to leave the world not as a criminal, but as a father.